Let's see how this goes for a 14-minute video.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, I got some late night thoughts. You ever try to fall asleep and insomnia kind of flashbangs you, and you're just completely awake? Well, that's where we're at. Thank God, no sleep paralysis. Now, I wanted to kind of talk about some stuff here. I just wanted to like kind of talk with the community, if you will, talk with the people watching. I usually hate these kind of videos because, generally speaking, I should just upload and move on and sort of like, do my stuff. But, I was watching some older videos of mine, and, to be fair with you, it's sometimes ideal to just kind of course correct a little bit. Now, one thing I want to start off by saying is, people on the internet have burnout. And to an extent, I would say that there is some level of burnout that occurs. And it's not just because, like, I upload, videos around daily. Something that, I've kind of been doing, and I'm sure some people have noted for like the last like couple like years, is that obviously the content that I've made is not so much diversified. I was watching videos from like 2019, 2020, and some of them were wild.
It's funnier when you know he doesn't do it after his job. It's mind blown on this one. This is coming from the same guy saying that he has gone from landlord to shit like that. It is like, wow. What, do I have to be an engineer in order to be a salary man? Because boy, he acting like he's a salary man.
Okay, you got videos as old as Weeaboo's Screamer Cringe where like the Muda laugh meme came out of. And then I was watching videos where apparently like I was playing
Just call us slop and Muda. You know what my friend thinks of this video? He calls him some ordinary yapper.
like obscure Japanese PS2 games about bomb defusals. And one of the reasons why I'm making this video is my internet just died. Like I think some drunk asshole ran into like a data center and completely destroyed the internet, okay? Like I am loading pictures slower than the AOL dial-up days, which by the way is dying. So the thing about it is I played, an old PS2 game. I played some Grand Theft Auto, like obscure Brazilian trash on the PS2, and I had a pretty good damn time doing it. Now the thing about like YouTube is one of the things that I kind of have noticed that I've done for the last 12, I would say 24 months even, right? Is I've kind of went into this almost late stage capitalist mindset. One of the things is obviously I would say that I cover a lot of trending stuff. And in some cases, I definitely have probably fell into like the over coverage of like, internet dramas, things of that nature. And, I'm not going to just say that I wouldn't want to cover something that I'm interested in because generally, if I'm interested in something, I'm going to talk about it, as is what the point of a YouTube channel is. But watching a lot of the older stuff that I did, where I was like, hunting for Bigfoot and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, not even just like the deep web, like the deep web stuff is cool, but I was watching like older haunted gaming, like creepypasta videos and everything too. And it's funny, watching old creepypasta videos, it's like, most of it was just, I would get home, I would sit in front of like the creepypasta wiki, I'd find me something that was absolutely juicy, read through it, do a little analysis, and then just kind of upload it. I wouldn't say that any video that I
Doesn't take too long. Why couldn't he do so? He could have done the creepypasta era or the fucking. Oh my. Why am I even asking that? Now it's apparently Slop Muda is what? Do we have to be an engineer to enjoy creepypastas now?
have uploaded is like a technical masterpiece. It really is just like me putting together something that I find interesting and uploading it. And I feel like 2019, 2020, 2021 was probably like the best gosh darn era that I've actually enjoyed on the internet. I think that was when I was like most diverse. And one of those things is obviously I think I should probably just go back to it. Now, one of the reasons why, like, I make this video is that obviously there's a lot of people that say, I wish you talked about creepypastas. I wish you uploaded this. And generally, whenever I do upload that kind of stuff, the videos tend to absolutely tank in terms of performance. And that's not something that's like super duper shocking to me. It's just par for the course, right? Generally, people love the trending stuff. People like, any internet controversy discussion a lot more than, the traditional standard stuff. That's just how the internet tends to work in that space. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, shifting the shift of all my content to that was ever a good idea. And that's just one of the things where, like, ultimately, I want to kind of ask you guys, what really is it that you guys want to watch from like that 2019, 2020, 2021 era? One of the things
Man is so concerned over, YouTube analytics when he tries to go back to the YouTube old days. I mean, I can understand YouTube algorithm for sure, because then nowadays it's like what YouTube commentary or like some spicy drama going on. But it's man keeps repeating himself. He wishes to go back to the old YouTube days or like doing them, obviously.
that I kind of have fallen into, and I think most creators can agree with this. I've actually talked to a couple creators like this. There's a mentality that happens to you when you make YouTube videos, and you kind of run into this like snowball effect where when one video style does really well, you tend to do more of it because that's really what YouTube, as a platform, algorithmically, systemically actually rewards you for. But that's the problem. You fall into the algorithm rot, and that's just you basically putting yourself into a corner. And that's one of the things that I've never really considered myself in. I've always considered myself to be like, generally somebody that uploads a pretty diverse range of stuff. Back then it was like,
God of excuses. Yeah. Okay. When he tries to upload something that's similar to old days, oh my video's tanked. That's an excuse. And then all of a sudden, excuse after excuse. Damn. Dude, as an engineer, I know a thing about excuses.
like you talk about a creepy pasta, or you play fucking Revenge of the Sunfish or some crazy weird video game. And generally speaking, it's like I was never like the most, I would say, like viewed person, but it was like everything that I would just kind of post would generally appeal to this fan base that I would have. And I feel like in the last like what 12, 24 months, I've kind of just alienated myself away from that. Now I've been on like old Discord communities and fan communities of mine, just kind of talking to like older fans. And I've really come to this just realization that at this point I have to stop jumping into this like YouTube, you know, avalanche of like algorithm seeking nonsense. Okay, I should just go back to what it is that I've done, regardless of what it does to my channel or whatever going forward. The reality of this is this is not coming from a place of me wanting to go back to an older channel just out of nowhere. A lot of this comes from, just me being upfront with you guys. I don't think I have much more time left in me. And I'm not saying that like I'm dead or something. It's just that for the last like couple of years, I really have just been thinking of retiring. Like I really have just been thinking of like getting out of this and sort of like
Okay, this is the part that I've been telling you right there. He said he wanted to retire from YouTube and he was contemplating that for the past couple of years. It's like, what? For what? Like, is it because of the shit? Is it because you're getting the backlash, even though you're the one? Fun, can we stop harassing him? Is he the? Are we the engineer of harassment? Harassment. Is there even a counter argument to this? Is like because he's retiring? Maybe like, if we stop doing that, maybe he'll go back to his roots. Who fucking knows?
doing something else with life. And sometimes life brings in a lot of beautiful things that sort of take you away from the hobbies that you have. And I'll let you interpret what that means. But the idea is that, my life is heading to a place where I'm getting older. I got to be focusing more on things like family or something of that nature. So realistically, I don't really think
Nah, he's just being a whiny loser pretending to be a victim. I mean, that's what my one of my buddies on the group DM was mentioned about. He was like, he's just whining. He's like 2 steps from saying that he'll Roblox himself because of YouTube. Bro, if this is the kind of thing, all because of the freaking negative like backlash and the shit that he's been stirring up, boy, I think you gotta step away. I mean, how old is this video? This video's been out since August 13th, and this is not the first time he's been doing this shit.
that I have more than like a year, maybe 2 years of kind of making like, the daily style of videos. That doesn't mean that I'll always like go away. Like I think I'll always just kind of upload here and there. It's just, there's going to be a point where, I just do not post, multiple times a week. It's going to be a point where I'm going to post maybe once a week or maybe once a month. And it's sometimes maybe even less than that, simply because like life takes you in a different sort of spot. But I feel like before that time comes, I kind of do want to just go back to like a 2019, 2020, 2021 era Mutahar. I want to just kind of like upload goofy, what the fuck gaming style videos where I just play the most obscure shit for my channel. You know, one of the things that I
You keep saying this so many times, bro. Oh my lord.
really loved watching was like
Oh, I fucked
me
up.
when I had insomnia. I woke up at like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna help people relive PlayStation 2 Grand Theft Auto San Andreas like Bigfoot hunting, and I did that, and I had probably some of the most fun during that video. Now the thing is, obviously, going back to that style of content that doesn't, typically rely on trending stuff. Obviously, I'm gonna just say it right now. Going into the future, I don't think I'm going to perform as well, at least like channel metric wise. And one of those things is obviously it's completely okay. I know that's like outlandish. Like, a creator should probably think of like constantly upping and upping and upping and upping and upping the numbers until like it reaches an unhealthy degree. And that is what it is. It's just unhealthy. This is not like a capitalist situation where like, if you're pulling in, like a million views one year, you should go to 2 million the next year, and then 4, and then 8, and then 16, and then 32, because ultimately at the
Oh,
end of the day
right.
you just
You
fall
just
into this
return to
like
field and
psychotic
do the
like rut
shortcut thing.
where ultimately your content suffers, you suffer, and ultimately I would say everything just suffers at that point. So realistically for me, I want to just kind of go back to a lot of that, like even before 2020, to be honest, like 2017, 2018, I think that was like a peak era. And I should just go back to playing like a lot of older like creepypasta games. I should go back to a lot of like deep web stuff. Not even just deep web stuff, to be honest. Like deep web stuff is like I've seen so many goddamn websites at this point that to be real with you, I could not do it almost every week. Maybe like every 2 weeks, simply due to the fact that there is just so much of the same hitman, website. But I've generally like gotten a lot of love for like creepypasta stuff recently, and I never thought I'd be saying that. I've really actually fallen back into creepypasta love, and I've been actually on the creepypasta wiki. I've been like reading spooky stories. I've been on the spookier side of like 4chan paranormal again, and I really feel like looking back, some of the videos that I made, the ones that just randomly banged, looking at like weird, creepy 4chan threads, or like, talking about like that one obscure video game creepypasta, or sometimes looking at like that one creepy YouTube channel, or the YouTube ARG. That's just really where I should be focusing my attention and my time into. I feel like I've dipped my toe too much into like the trending, almost like drama content pond, where I've really just suffered in the long run for it, right?
God damn it. I wonder why that's the case, though. Well, you admitted it. Maybe, like, I don't know, change things up a bit. Unless you're afraid of losing an audience that's built up.
Right? Like I think like the last 24 months, I've probably suffered the most in terms of just like the quality of the video that I've been making about it too, right? Like I don't want to say that I've just been like slop tubing it. I've always been like a daily uploader. If you think that my old videos from like 8, 9 years ago were not just slop, you'd be fucking surprised, okay? Playing some dog shit, stupid PS2 game probably falls into that same category if people are being charitable. But at least back then, I feel like I was really carving out like the weird side of the internet that nobody was uploading and just enjoying my time there. One of the things that I want to do is just kind of go back to that. And again, like I said, I hate making these kind of videos, but one of the reasons that I wanted to make this video is to get my thoughts out, to sort of talk a little bit to the community about it. But also, I do want to ask you guys, like, what specifically from that old era do you guys really genuinely want to see? And again, I don't want to just hear like deep web browsing or something of that nature, right? It's like there's got to be some stuff, from like the haunted gaming era. My neighbor finally fell asleep. The haunted gaming era, or like that just weird side of like the PS2 games that I ended up playing, or just like weird games in general, right? Like, I legitimately laughed out loud the other night. I was watching myself playing Sonic, like it was a Sonic Dreams collection. I was watching myself impregnate
Damn, no
Sonic
gold.
on video. I actually fucking laughed at it like an actual hyena. And I feel like, that's just where I want to be at. Even reading the comments from like videos like that, I feel like there was just a genuine amount of good positivity I was putting in there, as opposed to, just yapping about the daily stuff that I have an interest in. Obviously, that's why I upload it. But I really just feel like, at the end of the day, if that's where I'm going at, if that's the route that I'm going down, I should probably stop right now. Because ultimately, I don't want to just be like the daily, like, news yapper guy. I don't want to be like the daily, Asmongold, Charlie. No disrespect to any of those guys, but that never was me. And I don't think that should be me. But yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about this. I'm rambling on a bit, but ultimately, I have to do something because insomnia is a bitch. Sleep paralysis is an absolute bitch. But I wanted to talk about this because, again, it's something in my head. I wanted to discuss stuff. And again, I just recorded me playing a goofy PlayStation 2 game. And it was probably some of the most fun that I've ever had. Obviously, going forward, going back to that classic style of content and not relying
Man's already peaked by then.
on like trends or doing that kind of stuff is ultimately a net negative to the channel. But given, I mean, net negative in terms of the, I guess you could say, metrics, right? And YouTube just shouldn't be metrics. Like, at the end of the day, this is not what I do. This is something that obviously I have to be retiring from at some point, and I got to be focusing on other ventures. But I think from now to the time we get to that stage, probably should go back to a time when I was some ordinary gamers, not off-brand version of whatever talking head you see on the internet these days.
Instead of some ordinary yapper.
But ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Obviously, I will still be deep diving into things. I think that part is still like that stuff I still want to do. But I just want to ask you, what do you guys want to particularly see? And especially if there's any specific like topic, especially in that horror space, if you guys want to see, absolutely would like to cover things like that again. And ultimately, I just want to ask you what you want to see. Because, if I'm going to upload something, I at least want to upload, something that the community wants to see. Not just because ultimately it's like a fucking team effort here. You know what I mean? It's like we have to be able to communicate and meet in the middle in that regard. But yeah, this is just me yapping. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully I can pass out. Hopefully I can go to bed. I am out.
Damn, didn't even do the freaking outro on this one, man. This feels low-key sad posting at this point. Like, what is this shit, man? God damn it, dude.